Well, the two Girls One Mukbang is the picture I'm gonna use, or the channel I'm gonna use for this video. I took two captures. The reason being, I did a full screen with just the girls and their food, and I wanted the name on here, so I took another one so I could have this name down here. So I take the one with the name, and I'm gonna capture that name. I'm gonna cut that name, not cut. I'm just gonna, because I want to put that in the video, or in the image, and I'm going to paste that, select, paste as a new layer, and I've got that I could slide then up in the corner, and when I'm all done I'll have that in the video. Okay, for now I'll turn it off, and if I remember I'll put it back in. Layer to image size, and there I go. Okay, this one here, like usual, I duplicate it. I'll turn this one off. And I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with this. But I do think I want to capture it all, select all, and I want to paste it as a new image. Oh, look what I did. Oh my God. Oh my God, Jay. Okay, cancel. Get rid of that. Should I get rid of it? Oh my God. I don't want to capture that one. I want to capture this layer right here. But it was highlighted. How come it didn't go? Okay. Copy. Edit. Paste as a new image. There, I've got it. Now I want to change this to the image. I want to switch it to an index mode. I like that to separate my colors out. I really like that. And I'm going to separate it out to a maximum of 5 colors. Before, I think I used this down here, my previous video. I'm going to take this time and say just limit it to 5 to 6 colors, and see what I come up with. That's pretty good. That's pretty good because of what I want. I want to capture these girls out. Now let me do it. I'll do another layer here. I'm going to get my color. Notice the color here now. Oh, I got to go back first. See, I'm in the color mode of index, so I can't use RGB. I can't use all the colors. I got to change it back to RGB now. Now I can use all the colors again. So I can get a sample from this brown right here. Notice that yellow will turn brown. And I can paint in to make this solid in here. I want the girls to be solid inside, and you'll see why in a minute. Reduce the size of this, and all the details inside of this, inside of the edging, I want to be one color, because I'm going to take that one color and select it in the original drawing. You'll see what I mean. Hard to explain in the middle of doing. Let me slip this down. I don't think I want to get that whole thing. I just do this here. And see what that looks like there. Okay, now what I want to do is select only this area in here. There may be a detail or so that doesn't. Let's see, if I go here and I select it, and see a couple little dots where it's sparkling there and there. I'm going to zoom up so you can see them. These are odd pixels in there that were a different color. If I take this whole image and say select and grow by 2 pixels, those details disappear. Then I can shrink it back again, shrink by 2 pixels, and if you notice, those individual pixels aren't covered. So I can go up here, put another layer in, put another layer in there, and I'll paint that the brown. I'll just pour everything in that brown. And I can merge that down then. And I'll back up on the drawing, and you see what I have here, what I have selected. Push down the space key and I can slide this drawing wherever I want to. And I'm going to copy these. Copy, and I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to paste them as a new layer. Edit. Paste as a new layer. I should have pasted in place, I think. Paste in place, and it went right back where it belonged. So the paste in place puts it in the same position on the new screen. So what I've got is something where I can mask those two girls, and since they're masked, I'm going to go down. I got to turn that into a new layer. And again, I'll make my layer the image size, and I will select that area. And now the girls are selected automatically. The whole girls are selected. So I can take them right there and say, copy, and paste as a new layer. And there they are in a total new layer on top of everything. If you look there, there they are. Now I'm not going to move, I'm not going to unselect them yet. I want to try something here. I'm going to take this one. I really don't have any plan when I start this. I'll tell everybody that may not be the way to work. As a matter of fact, I know there's people out there that are dying right now saying, what's he mean? He doesn't know what he's doing. Well, I don't. I play. My thing is to play. Now, this is all in proportion. This little bar is broken. That means if I try to enlarge it, I'll lose aspect. I want it to stay in aspect, so I connect it. That way, when I pull it, it stays in proportion. And I want them larger. I've got something in mind. I don't know if oh, look what I did. I should have made that too. The image size. Now I can take them, select none. You don't want to select the girls and do it, which I did. You want to select the layer and resize it. So here's the layer. Now I can resize them. Scale and drag them back in that picture. And where else are they showing it? There, I'll get them out of the background and let's put them on the food. There's the food down there, and maybe get rid of the girls there. And here I'm going to color them out. I'll go around them here. And I'll tell everybody now, I'm not going to be design pro on this. It's to show techniques you can use, different techniques you can use to do things. That's the primary reason I'm doing these videos. If the design works out good, I'm happy. If it doesn't, that's life. And let me paint over this. I'll paint it. I give it a big paintbrush, big paintbrush. I use my closed brackets and my brushes that increase in size. And instead of painting right on here, well, I've got a copy underneath. So I think I will paint right on it, right on that whole copy. And oh my God, look what I did. Okay, let me get a sample here. And go on top. And I can come down just like that. I don't have to watch for anything because I've got the areas selected. I actually could have went to a layer above and painted it, but or filled it. I could have used that fill can on the layer above, but I didn't choose to do that. There's always several ways to do things when you do it. And there the girls are up on top. And I think I want to try to blur the edges a little bit. I don't want like that real sharp edge in there. So there's a couple ways to do that. I'm going to try. There's a couple ways to do that. One is to outline it and turn that outline, turn that selection into a path and then blur the path. But I think I can do just about as well with a paintbrush. If I zoom in here, I shouldn't say paintbrush by using a blur brush. There's a blur. Now I'm going to zoom in so I can see it closer and see if I can't blur just a little bit on those edges there. There's the blur brush, and I want to shrink that down. I don't want it too big. It's actually kind of blurred because I enlarged it. The nature of enlarging, when you change something and enlarge it, when you change something and enlarge it, you change the original image, and it always is a little bit blurrier. Whether you make it larger or smaller, you change the compression of an image, and it's altered. That's why you can, if you take an image and you don't change anything, you make a lot of copies. But as soon as you make an image and change a little bit of size, you start distorting it. And if you notice what I'm doing here, it's blurring a little bit more on the edges. Just a little bit. If you notice it, it's blurring just a little bit. I don't want it to be real sharp where it sets down on, because I'm going to set it over the top of the food, which is not exactly a great thing to do if you're doing about the food, but the girls are the focus of this to me, because you'll go there and you'll see the food. The girls are so charming. Oh my God, they're fun to listen to. I love it. And I think they really, really love what they do. What's really neat is when you find somebody creating something out there and they're doing it, and you know they're doing it because they love it. And I think these girls love what they're doing. Let's see, I did that once, but I'm going to do a little more. And slide that down, and I hope you can see what's really happening to that edge. I suppose maybe I could zoom in more to show more details of what's really happening to it. Because it's blurring it, but it's slightly. Watch it in there. It's a slight blur. And you think that's nothing, but when the whole thing is finished with, you won't see that pixelized edge on it. And here, down here, you see the pixels. As soon as I go over it, the pixels disappear. The pixelized edge down there, and they disappear. Okay, let's back out on this image and see what we have here. Okay, good. Let's set them on top of the food. We'll take that layer and turn it into the image size and put some food under it without the growth in the picture. There's the food without the growth in the picture, and there's the growth. Now I'm going to take the food, because to me, again, the girls are what's important. To them, when they do the video, the food is. To me, they're important because they're who I'm speaking about in this video. So I want to take the food, and I don't want it to look bad, but I want to make it not as, not to draw hardly any attention. So I'm going to try it first by going and copying it. Edit copy, and paste it as a new image. Paste as a new image. And I'm going to try a couple things. I really, really love playing with index colors, though. So maybe if I back them down and take away and make it only a dozen colors. Yeah, that's nice. See what it did? I changed it to a dozen colors. It doesn't have nearly the, it looks nice, but it doesn't have the attention getting it had before. So I'm going to select all, copy. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to paste it, paste as a new layer. Now underneath it, to take away from it even a little bit more, I'm going to paint black. This is a layer underneath. Then I'll take this layer here and put a little bit of translucent, a little bit of opacity to it. There, it really faded it back here. Now we put the girls in. Now they stand out on top. Now I can take this image on top and make it stand out even more by selecting, and again I usually select the background and invert it. If I would have not selected the background, see this area in here I'm pointing at right here? I'm going to show you. This area in here, it is not selected, and I mean it is not a part of this. But if I do it the other way, select none. If I use the magic wand, see what it does? It doesn't catch that area inside. So that's the reason or the difference of these two tools. Select none, and this will select just them. And that way if I do something to them and I want that detail on the edge to show, it will. And I do want the edge to show, because you'll see right here. There's another layer. I'm going to invert that selection so it's just them. Then I'm going to take and paint that a white color. I shouldn't paint it white. Let me offset it. Do it kind of a beige in here. Do kind of a beige. Okay, there you go. And that's behind them, and I'm going to paint that. And since it's a brand new layer, I can just go like that and paint everything. And because I blurred them, you can see the outline. If they weren't blurred, that outline wouldn't be there, but they're blurred. So I'm going to make 2 copies of that. And this is kind of their style. They have a lot of those, a lot of their thumbnails they make that outline in. So I'm going to take one of these and blur it. And unlike the other one where I tried my previous video where I wanted all the sharp edges to be the same, this one here I'm trying to separate them out. I'm going to take that layer and blur it more. And then I'm going to take that top layer there and I'm going to make it a little less intense. It stands out, but it's not sharp against them. Now I'll take this whole thing here and see if I can't blend these all together or drop them together. Merge down, merge down. Now, there the girls are, there the food is. There's the background that covers that other food. So instead of using a background to cover it, let's go up here and we take this and we'll merge it down. Now we're down to 2 layers right there and right there. 2 layers. Oh, let's see, what else can we do here? Let's go here and make another layer in here, and we will first let's pick a nice color. The green, let's see, what color would match the girls and that both and this? Maybe that color right there wouldn't be bad. So let's get a color sample of that color. It looks so dark up there. It doesn't even look the same color, does it? But it is. Colors are deceiving. Why are they deceiving? There's drawings I've seen where you look at the color on this side and a color over here, And they did not look the same, but they're exact same thing. But I'm going to go to this layer I made here and draw a square. I like squaring things off. I just kind of enjoy it. I don't know why. It's just a nature, I guess. And I'm going to fill that. Then I'm going to shrink it. Select, shrink that selection by 6. Delete. I'm going to take and select and shrink it again. Shrink by 6. And I'm going to repaint it. Then select, shrink by 6, and delete it. Now you got a double line. Select none. I don't really like that on top of the food. Of course it does take the food a little bit away from it. So I got to think about this 1 second here. Yeah, let's let the food. Yeah, let's let the food. What I'm going to do here, look what I'm going to do. Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take and select this. I'm going to select the background. Or this dark. I shouldn't say the background. I'm going to, oh, I got to use this tool. I'm going to select that, that, and look at, I did only one. I want 2. I want to be able to select that one, and that corner. And I'm going to invert that. Select, invert. So I'm only selecting the food. And I'm going to say, okay, selection, grow by 9. Now, look here. There's my edge. And I have that selected. And I'm going to say, delete that. Better do it on the right layer, huh? I'm going to go delete that. And you see it got rid of the edges where the food was at. So if I put the food back in, there's even that little tiny border because I selected the food and said grow by 9 pixels. So there's a 9 pixel all the way around, a 9 pixel difference between the border and the food. And there the girls are again. And I'm going to try one more thing which may or may not work because I don't have a sharp edge, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to take this, I'm going to merge this down. No, I'm not going to merge it down. No, that's what I want to try to do. I'm going to try to select them. Make another layer. I'm going to select the background. Select invert. Select shrink it just a little bit. I want to shrink it by about 4 maybe. And then I want to go back to this border I had. Where's my border at? There's my border. I want to choose that border and delete that also. Now select none. So when I put the girls back in, there's that little bit of a border between them and that squared off part. See what I mean? To the bottom part is a border, and to their heads up on top, there's a border. And with this, I'm happy. And with this, I'm happier. I take that and I'll slide it down into position where it looks like it belongs in there. Okay, there we go. Make that to layer size. And you don't want it, I mean, I like it in there, but I gotta fade out a little bit because I don't like things with a stark contrast. There it goes. That's nice. I like it. Now I'll put some text on top of everything. I'll make this right here into a new from visible. That way I can turn all these off. Doesn't matter. It's all in one layer now. I joined them all together. And I can go on top of this then. And I can write. And we will write I don't necessarily know if I want that color, but it's easy to change. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I don't want that color. But I don't want to change it now. I just don't. I want to fool with something. I'm going to show you something else to change that color to make it match everything. Okay. But I don't like that alphabet. Wait, maybe I will if I make it bold. Don't be a quick judge on that. Gimp tutorial. Making thumbnails. Two girls. One. Mukbang? Mukbang. Oh my god. Okay, now I'm going to select all of them and increase it in size. Let's make it bigger. Okay, and move it to where I want it to be at. I want it to be down here on the bottom. Down here it will be a little bit in their hair, but that's life. If I put it down, I can put it clear down to bottom, but I don't like it clear down to bottom. That's fine. That's fine. It serves its purpose. And center it. If I say I want to center it between that line, I want to center it between that line and that line, but do it down so that it looks like it is right. And what is nice also is I've got this centered, that side centered, and I want it centered from the words to the bottom about the same. That's just the way I do design. That doesn't mean it's right. It's the way I like to do it. And then we take it right here and say layer to image size. And there that is. That's that layer right there. And I'm going to take that layer and I'm going to fool with the colors a little bit, just see if there's something I like better about the colors. And it lets me show you the hue and saturation tool. So I go to hue and saturation, and if I change the hue, I can change the color of that text. And that lets me play with it really close to find out what do I think looks really good in there for text. What color do I think looks good? If I want to stand out, I'd make it flash, but I'm not gonna try that. These girls are do it with majesty and grace, and I'm gonna try to do the same thing, and not put a whole lot of flash in it, just make it neat. I think that ought to do it. I think that should do it. Okay. Now the standing out part will be by the background. And to do that, I make two layers of the same. I select the back of it. Here's the back. I take and expand that, select and grow, and let's grow it by a substantial number. The letters will blend together, but I don't care if they blend together. If it was only 1 pixel, we're going to go down here, and I'll zoom in again. If I only expanded 1 pixel, they wouldn't be joined in there. I could separate everything out. And I suppose I could show it. I should show you that. Okay, if I say here select, grow by 1, or grow even by 2, then it takes those closest and it joins them, but the others are all separated. If I would have done it by 1, that would even be separated there. And I can take this, now I have that selected. I can take that and say, hey, I will need to put a background on it. What kind of a background do I want that'll make those letters stand out? And of course, what will really stand out is flashy yellow, and maybe I can use flashy yellow and then use my opacity to get it to the shade I want. So there it is, big flash. But the opacity will take the flash out, and let's shrink this down, use a bigger brush. I wanted to show detail, but you saw the detail now, so let's take a bigger brush and just slam it now. Okay, there you go. Push down space, slide it over. I could look every time I do thumbnails. I did one and misspelled thumbnails on it. Then I had to go back and fake it and make it look like it was a design. Oh my God. Okay, let's go and shrink that down. I'll move it to the middle. Select none. And we go to that layer and we'll fade it out a little bit. That makes it blend a little better. Okay, thank you. My wife just brought me in something. Candy, oh my God. This should do it. This should do it. I could lighten them up. No, I'm not going to do that. This has a whole different look than a lot of things I do. This isn't a flashy thumbnail so much as it is a picture that might be used on a web page or something like that. Now, I did say thumbnails on my drawing, and I'm making the thumbnails, but I think you can easily see the difference of it just shows a different style. But we're going to do new from visible. I'm going to see if I can, just for fun. I don't want to use anything flashier, but just for fun, I'm going to try something and see. What if I go up here to hue and saturation, and I increase my saturation and decrease my lightness? No, that doesn't do it. I'd have to increase my lightness. No, this kid's coming out ugly. Good thing it was just experiment, and I told her, but I really didn't want to do anything different. It's kind of curious, though. We're going to cancel that out. I just wanted to see it. This is good enough. This is good enough. It shows what I'm doing. We talk about the girls, and you guys go see the girls. Go see them. They're fun to listen to. They do cooking videos all the time, and they are death-defyingly faithful followers. As a matter of fact, my last video I posted, they were the first ones that remarked on it, and I said, the first ones, I'm definitely going to do a video about them too. That's how I do it. Hey, how y'all doing? Have a good day. If you like me, subscribe. If you don't, don't.